Hey everyone, welcome to the Dual Account Progression series. In this series, I'll be playing on two accounts, one being an Iron Man and the other my main. My goals are to eventually max both accounts and obtain as many rare and valuable items that I can on both accounts. Some episodes, I'm going to be spinning a wheel, and this wheel is going to give us a random goal to complete. This series is going to be epic. There's going to be plenty of things to do. In this first saga, we need to obtain a couple of items, one being the Dragon Defender. We also need more Barrow's gear, specifically Aram's. I do have some gear already, like Carol's top and bottom. I also have some melee gear from there. We also need some MTA items, such as Bones to Peaches for God Wars Dungeon, and the Infinity Boots. Any mage gear helps. And our final goal of this saga will be the Amulet of Fury. I know this will be time consuming, but we'll get it done. Don't worry. And next up, here's the main. These are my stats. This account we want to max, and there's plenty of bosses and random content that we can do. And yes, this Iron Man has been played on before. Most of my stats are in the 50 to 70 range. I have gotten some items on the account, such as a Draconic Visage, and various other items, but nothing too insane. That's about the craziest one. There's still plenty of quests to complete and items to gain. For this first episode, we're hunting the Dragon Defender. Let's get started. Okay, so we start this episode out by collecting a bunch of buckets of sand. Soon after, we're going to hop into a couple Slayer tasks. And of course, our next task is trolls. So you have to come kill some of these trolls out by where God Wars is. And not the greatest task, but it is what it is. They have some drops, but not the greatest. We'll be doing a bunch of tasks like this, and I just skip through it towards the end. But we gotta get that Slayer up eventually. I need the whip. Next up, we have a task of Crass, I believe. We're gonna head off to there, but we need to relocate our house and collect some seaweed. So that's what we're doing now. We'll be collecting a ton of seaweed in this series. A ton of it. So we run off to relocate our house, and then we'll be headed off to finish this task of Crass, which are a lot of money. So we go ahead and start knocking out the Crass task. I still do not have a better leaf-bladed weapon than the spear. I've killed Turoths, I believe, for the sword. I'm like over drop rate currently as of recording this. I'm pretty sure I was... Ooh, there's a Brimstone Key. That's like the first of many. Well, we already opened one, but we'll get plenty more. But yeah, so no luck at all with the broad weaponry. Hopefully we can pull something here, but you'll have to wait and see. We're looking for the axe. And Cuirass, they're pretty chill actually. You just kind of sit back, chill, and you know, once you run out of supplies, you gear back up, run right back out there. And on an Iron Man, it does suck, like if you don't have the greatest teleports, and I don't. I also went and took a side trip here to go grab some sulfur for my compost. And then after our seaweed trip, we're pretty sure we go right back to our Cuirass task, and we'll start knocking that out. And let me tell you, I stacked the money up on this task. I got like 3 Konar keys in total, a bunch of alks, some herbs, and you know the average, the papayas, coconuts, all that stuff. Basically, these are just perfect for Iron Man. I will show the fish here in a second in one of these clips, how much we've got so far. There, the task is finished. We'll head off to Konar and grab another task and exchange these 3 keys. Super hyped about these keys. Really hoping for something good here. Some alks, something I can feasibly use. Let's see. First one up. Oh yeah, an Anku task. And then we get, I think, ore. More ore. And then diamonds. And here at the main, we have 2,300 anglers. Dang.
Seaweed for days, seaweed for days, seaweed for days.
And we're off to collect some compost and some of these resources, like these potato cactuses. I like to collect the white berries too sometimes. Then we're going to be doing a tree run. My tree runs are a bit basic, and sometimes I don't even do all of these spots that I can. But oh well. It's something I'm going to be doing a lot more, because I am hunting for this farming pet. I want a damn pet on this account. So I'm going to knock these trees out. I will be doing Hespori. I need the bottomless compost bucket. There's a bunch of stuff I still need. Yeah, stay tuned for clips coming up. Meanwhile, we're still fishing on the main. Once we finish this run, we're going to be on to the next thing, which is unfortunately collecting a ton of buckets of sand. I'm almost at 1,000, and I have like 2,000 or so buckets. I'm gonna have to get more, and yes, I know there's a better method. I'll eventually do that method. It just took me a while to figure it out. I didn't think it was worth it, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know. And yes, I will be testing that out, and I do end up sticking with that. RIP, because I did this method for a long time. And as you can see here, we're still stacking up the anglers, so yeah, that's coming in. But the reason I didn't do the other method first is because I didn't know if it was worth a desert heat. It's, I'll just say, it's the granite. Like, the granite and the limestone out in the desert. I should say, I guess just the limestone. I didn't do it at first because I just thought it was such a huge hassle. But really, I already had the camulet to get to the place. And yeah, it wasn't bad at all. I just took like a couple of water skins in the end, and it was really easy, and it's super fast. You get thousands and thousands of buckets of sand, so very worth it. And here I was collecting some more resources for prayer pots, snake grass, doing some more farming stuff. I gotta keep up with this because I'll lose track. I'm so used to playing on the main that farming was never really a huge thing. You just did tree runs and that was it. So the whole Iron Man experience is really, really sick doing it like this. So here I'm kind of just gearing up because I'm going to get my first Hespori kill of the episode. Or of the series actually, and I think I've killed it a couple times before. I'm not sure how many, only a few. But I am hunting the bottomless compost bucket, so I'm going to gear up my melee gear, protect magic, get my throwing item, and get ready. And here we are, and you can tell how inexperienced I am. I forgot my anti-poison. Don't do that, especially if you're like a super low level account or something. But it's pretty simple. You just toss or you can actually hit it with melee too, but the little flowers on each of the side, you want to hit them with ranged or some kind of fast weapon, and then you run away from the entangle attack that he throws at you. And then you just attack him and pray magic. Pretty simple. And it's a few cycles of the flower buds, and a couple cycles of him throwing the entangle attack at you. We're nearing the end of the kill here, and we'll see what we get. Not a bad kill. I've had faster times. We get a combat task, as well as some herbs, or actually seeds, I mean, and some of the seeds, we can't use none of the Chronos seeds or anything like that, but any herb seeds we use, and like the tree seeds, teaks, anything like that, we're fine with. And now here, we kind of did some random farming stuff, replanted our Hespori, and just messed around at the guild for a little bit. After that, we gotta head off and, you know, as usual, collect more seaweed. I think we stacked up quite a bit of seaweed at this point, but we need to see how much XP we got. About 9,000 till our next crafting level. So we're currently at 79 crafting, and we gotta hit 85. So we have a total banked XP of 158k. That's 300 seaweed and 3,000 buckets. We're gonna need thousands of each of these, so yeah. especially the buckets. So nothing to scoff at yet, but we'll be back, and we'll be back with a lot more of this stuff. And then I did another tree run. Always nice to get these done, especially when I remember, which I don't do very often. I don't have many hardwood tree seeds, so I don't tend to do those. Only when I have them, I know they're really awesome to do. And I haven't had any calquats, so I don't even know if I can do calquats. So next up, I decided to take all the big bones I earned and run them to the Wilderness Chaos Altar, which in hindsight wasn't the best idea, especially when I didn't bring coins to exchange the bones, as you'll see pretty soon. Super pumped up. I show up to the altar. I start putting bones down, and I'm like, oh wait, my inventory, it's not full of bones. Oh, I can't use the noted bones on the altar. I'm an idiot. I've never done this. I only play on a main. You need 50 coins per bone. I have no coins. Run! And then you'll not believe what will happen next. Well, really, you know what has to happen next. Of course, somehow we get savagely hunted down by a guy with like a couple keys, like 101 combat, and check the name out. So yeah, we didn't stand much of a chance. I only had a couple food, so I just stood there and took the beating like a man. I mean, even though I still haven't changed my character back to a man. I might do that, I might not. And yeah, 18 to the dome took us out. In case you're curious, the bank 34 mil. So to heighten my self-esteem after that savage blow, I did a birdhouse run that I forgot to record, sadly. Next, I did some more seaweed. After I'm done collecting the seaweed, my next goal really is to keep collecting buckets of sand. So I'm going to keep doing this crappy method until I realize I need law runes to teleport in and out of the house portal, which I don't end up using. Despite the fact that I switched methods, I still didn't use it. So I had to come here and buy runes. We ended up with, I think, around 500-ish law runes. We're checking in with 344 seaweed, 3,200 buckets of sand, and about 11k empty buckets. Gonna just keep it trucking along, getting the seaweed, getting those buckets, keeping it stacking. And we're at around 4,000 buckets now. So out of the blue, I had a buddy hit me up and he wanted to go to Nightmare, which we both haven't done in over a year and a half. So we hurried up, got some gear together, and ran straight over to Nightmare and tried to give it a shot. We'll see what happens. Checking in with our anglerfish, we have about 3,200. Nice stack. So once we're all geared up and everything seems good, we're heading over for the long trek to Nightmare. Straight through this town and through these tunnels, up this walkway, and here we are with our buddy. And I hope we don't die. It's been a long time, but I did get the Inquisitor's plate skirt on kill count 6 here. So I'm not really expecting anything crazy, but it has been around 100 kills since I've seen anything. But this boss is kind of crazy. I don't know, it's hard to explain. You basically pray against its attack styles, and it has a few special attacks here and there. Like this is one right here where it throws out these husk guys and you must kill them and then you attack the boss again. This is another special attack. These black things, you have to dodge them, keep attacking, and you're just praying according, smashing them. And there's 3 phases. This is the first. This is another special attack. Walk where the green flowers are. Pretty self-explanatory. And by the way, I am pretty new to this. I haven't done this in a while, and I am tanking, and it's kind of a harder role. You want to switch your melee prey on quite a bit, and maybe just keep it on, and flick to the other prayers if you have to. So once you get his shields down per phase, you're going to attack each of the pillars in the corners of the room and get them all the way down, and rinse and repeat to the next phase. So once he goes down, his next phase will start, and it's going to have a couple different special attacks, depending on which phase it is. So the second one is probably the hardest, and it'll throw these sleepwalkers out that you have to hit right away at the beginning of the phase, or you'll take massive damage. So we hit the sleepwalkers, and we go on and attack. One of the special attacks is this purple mist, and it switches around your protection prayers. You gotta figure out what order is right. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I figure it out in the video a little bit later on. Another special attack, he'll throw these parasites out at you that you have to hit down, or you'll take a lot of damage. And I'll zoom in better here during the pink attack so you can see the prayer switches a lot better. Melee, that's a ranged. Ranged, that's magic. Magic, melee. Here's another special attack. He'll throw this little parasitic insect at you, and you have to drink a Sanfew serum or Reseclix bomb. It's a little cheaper version. Now, this phase can be a little tricky, especially if you're new here, because he'll switch the prayers on you throughout the entire phase, especially while you're trying to go for the pillars. So he'll chase you around if you're tanking and hit you with melee hits, so you're worried about prayers, melee, doing damage to the pillars, and the floor mechanics, all of the special attacks at once. But once you knock them down, you're on to the third phase. Don't forget your sleepwalkers, hit them, and this phase is the easiest by far. There's 2 attacks, really, plus switching your prayers for his normal attacks. Here's one of his special attacks right now. He'll jump down in the room, he'll pop out somewhere around the room, and he'll Naruto run straight across. And he'll hit you for massive damage if you get caught up in that. So quickly run away from that. Now here's another special attack, the last one. He'll just summon these spores on the ground, and they'll like drain your run energy and mess you up, so don't hit those. So lastly, just try to DPS the boss down. Remember your prayers on the final phase, and try to watch your run energy. Don't run out of run, or you might get caught in the Naruto run. And yeah, that's it. Get your pillars, and try not to melee the pillars. I know I keep messing up and doing that, but mage is probably better, I think. And once your pillars are defeated, the boss should be dead, and you should be able to claim your loot. And 12 grimy Catentine. Amazing. So we kind of tucked our tail between our legs and gave up at Ashihama only after 1 run, and decided to do a TOA run. Hopefully we get better luck here. We decided to go with Kefri first because we knew the puzzle room was going to be kind of fast and easy, and we just keep range prayer on for this boss. So to me it's kind of a bit AFK even though you constantly move. But yeah, you just avoid these bomb attacks that it throws down at the ground, and sometimes it'll kick up this mud, and you have to run away from this mud and make sure you don't get trapped. Keep attacking him, and then he'll summon some minions every so often. Here's the minions. You just melee them. And man, the Blood Fury is awesome here. You get so many heals. Dodge these kamikaze bugs. They'll explode on you. And you just walk like 1 or 2 tiles away. Then in this phase, you want to attack the blue one and make sure you kill it first, or it'll do massive damage to you. And it'll teleport to the other side of the room once you do enough damage. So run around and keep attacking it and get it down. And we did bring thralls to this raid, but I of course forgot my Book of Dead, and I've never used them before here, but oh well. Oh, why did it boot me in there?
What the fuck, dude? I'm dead.
Just try to heal up. And yeah, my partner did take the L right here. Somehow we both got kicked in a weird direction. I'm not sure. We probably did something wrong. That's 1 death down. Luckily, I was able to solo down Kefri's last remaining HP, and we successfully completed the room, and we move on towards the next path, which will be Zebek. And we're gonna go do this agility room really quickly. Zebek is another pretty easy one, but depending on invocations, it can trip you up quite a bit with acid pools and things of that nature. But wish us luck. This puzzle room is pretty straightforward. You just run through these agility obstacles. First, you're going to grab a water container, and you'll just run to these waterfalls, fill up your container, and use it on the plant in the middle of the room until it's fully rejuvenated. Kill the crocodiles with magic. They'll attack your plant. And that's it. Now we move on to the next room, which is the crocodile boss himself. This boss attacks with mage and range and melee if you get too close. He also has a blood attack and 2 special attacks. Here is one right now where he'll throw these rocks out. You have to kick the boulders to the rocks, stand behind them to avoid the lightning. And here's another special attack. This is the wave. He throws down a wave and you just have to avoid it and run through the openings. Remember, keep your health up, keep moving, and watch for the acid pools. And here we come to the second and catastrophic final mistake to this raid. We missed the boulders and got killed. We didn't communicate with each other very well about who was going to hit what boulder and when. Lesson learned. Even though we had suffered utter defeat at the hands of a crocodile, we decided to head right back into TOA, this time with a new game plan. And if you're wondering, why go Akka first? What may our new brilliant strategy be? Well, we're just gonna randomly do a different room first, and we're gonna hope that helps. With that being said, we're just gonna breeze through this puzzle room. You just place mirrors down and reflect the light beam to the center statue in the middle. This boss isn't too bad. He's just gonna hit you with a couple different attacks. He'll melee you, then he'll always range you, then he'll always mage you for a certain amount of attacks. Then he'll go right back to melee, range, mage, and you just pray accordingly, but he'll be praying against you as well, so you have to hit him with the opposite of what he's praying to you with. And of course, this one does have special attacks as well. Right here, he'll slam his staff down, we both turn the color black, and we will leave behind orbs wherever we walk, so try to avoid those orbs. He will also turn you orange. Standing next to each other will cause you to take damage. And throughout the fight, he'll summon these statues, just kill one of them. Then go back to attacking. He can smash his staff on the ground, and these patterns of tiles will appear in the middle of the room. Follow the appropriate colors, repeat them, and you should survive perfectly fine. And I'll just let the kill run. If anything crazy happens, I'll pop in. I have no clue what went on here.
Ow!
But yeah, as you can see from my reaction, I died. And my buddy here took the rest of the kill and soloed it. So I zoomed in so you can see his triumph over Akka. And mind you, I've done way more TOAs than him, so it's just hilarious that I die here and he survives, and he hasn't done this in a long time, so he had to tank all of this. This can really suck too if you get unlucky hits, but he pushed on through and prevailed.
Oh, dude, that was like picking precision. You have no fucking idea, bro.
So I thanked him for a job well done, and we moved on to Kefri, and I'll just speed through this since we've already shown how to kill this. Okay, so finishing up that kill, we're gonna go ahead and grab some supplies. Don't forget that after 2 of the rooms, you can grab supplies. Just choose which option suits you and your party best per situation. Once we grab that, we're gonna head off to the Baba room. But we have to do this puzzle first, so we're going to grab a hammer and a potion to repair the columns. As well, use the potion on the ground and your partner whenever you need to. You're just avoiding the monkeys, basically, and hitting them with the correct combat style. Currently, this room, I think, is updated. It wasn't when we killed it, but you'll hit your max hit if using the correct combat style. But I just heard that news, so don't quote me on that. Once we finish that up, we're going to head to the Baba room, and you'll throw on Protect from Melee. You'll start attacking him with your melee gear. You'll avoid these boulders that fall from the sky, and whenever he throws the boulders out, you want to run to them. He'll throw another boulder out, and if you're not standing next to the ones already on the ground, you'll take massive damage. Also avoid the black shadows he spawns underneath you. When you get him to a certain amount of health, he'll kick you back, and he'll start rolling these rocks down at you. You have to hit him with range and just run through the opening. He'll do this twice during the fight. Go back to hitting him with melee and avoiding all of his attacks. And one last thing, he'll sometimes spawn these monkeys. They'll start attacking the sarcophagus around the room, and once the sarcophagus shield is down, they will shoot out lava, so be careful for that. And that's the kill. We'll be moving on to our next room, which happens to be Zebek. So we'll do the puzzle room like last time, and we'll just breeze through this kill. That's the kill. No deaths this time. I'm happy. Next, we're going to gear up, grab the rest of our supplies, and we're going to head into the final room. I dropped some potions on the ground at the start, just so I can pick them up later. Depends on what you want to do. We're going to first start out by attacking this pillar and taking a few hits. Then I'll run to the middle and start attacking. And you'll just avoid these pyramids that fall from the sky and twist. They'll do damage to you. Continue attacking the center pillar until the next special attack comes. There will be these orbs that fly out of the sky. If you're standing close to your partner for the first attack, you'll take less damage. We did it wrong there, so you can see we took a lot of damage. Then you stand far apart for the second orb. We did it correctly, and you take minimal damage. Continue this until your pillar is down, and Tumekin's Warden will awaken and start attacking. He will attack you with all 3 combat styles, so pray accordingly. The magic attack is going to be the Red Skull. The ranged attack will be a rock, and if you get too close to him, he will melee you. He has a few special attacks per phase. One of them are these tiles that will revolve around the floor. Just avoid them. The red sword he's throwing is a specific attack you must avoid. He'll do it for each combat style, or you'll take massive damage. Once his shields are down, you'll run up and attack this core. Use melee on it, preferably a dragon dagger and the potion if you have the adrenaline. Once the shield is down, change your gear. He'll be praying the opposite combat style now. And you'll notice the special attack will switch. He's now throwing bombs out of the obelisk, so avoid those. Go back to killing the core, rinse and repeat. He can also throw out these little bombs that if they hit you, they'll stop you in your place, so avoid those. Once you near the end of the kill, make sure you run and go grab up your potions if you have any left, just so you'll be fully prepared for the final warden. And once he's dead, it'll teleport you straight to the next room, so be ready. And you don't have to use your protection prayers until he summons one of the two bosses on the left or right side of him. He'll do this later on in the fight. He'll cast his arms and throw ripples on the floor tiles, and you just avoid them, and he will do the same rotation throughout the entire fight. And after a certain amount of health is gone, he'll summon the skulls, and you'll just have to hit them and commence attacking him once again. Here are the skulls, go ahead and tag them off, and run right back to your spot and attack him again, avoiding the tiles. Once his health is down to a certain level, he will spawn one of the 4 bosses from the raid on his left and right. He just spawned Akka, so you'll have to throw your prayers up accordingly for Akka. This is all dependent upon how you started the first phase of the Warden fight, and pretty soon on the right side he will spawn Kefri. There's Kefri, so we'll have to avoid Kefri's attacks as well throughout the rest of this fight. That's pretty much it. I'll let the rest of the kill run its course. By the way, when the final phase kicks in, just avoid the lightning as best you can, and keep attacking. And there's one TOA completed. Let's go see what our loot is.
God, no fucking purple.
Well, I
You're
died.
supposed to-
Or no, did I die? Okay.
And yeah, the loot, not the greatest, but what can you expect with a death? And we now have a total of 5,800 buckets, 585 seaweed. So we're going to keep stacking the seaweed up. My next goal is actually going to be to get the flippers, so I don't have to keep walking around underwater. So I'm going to head off, grab some nettles, and complete the steps of this little mini quest. Enjoy. Fill up our bowl of water. Head off, grab a bucket of milk. Next, we need to steal a tea from this tea stall. Use our nettles on our bucket of water. Cook that. Next, we use our nettle tea on our teacup. Go ahead and grab some snake grass and some chocolate dust and add them to your bucket of milk. And that should be everything for the hangover cure. Once we have all of that, we can go ahead and gear up for the mud skippers, relocate our house to Remington so we're a bit closer. Start this mini quest. Hand him over the items, and we should be on our way to go and get these flippers. Here we are. Just in case you're curious, the drop rate for the flippers are a 1 in 64, and for the hat, it's a 1 in 25. Wish me luck. And after about 20 kills, we got our first item, a hat. Nice collection log slot. I'll jump back in if I get any rare items. Couple kills later, another hat. And another hat, around 43 kills. And there's another hat at 62 kills. And we went a little over drop rate, but finally, after 81 kills, we received the flippers. No more walking underwater. Gotta love it. Next up, we ran around the game and did another tree run. I collected a little bit more seaweed and finally back to some more herb runs. It's been a while. After the herb run, I decided to alch some items for some extra GP. After the alchs, we're off to collect some karamwanji for some karamwan fishing. We really need some food. We've been running super low. We need some more seaweed. So here we are back at our favorite place. And we've been grinding hard with a total of 769 seaweed, 7,000 buckets. Finally, we're here fishing karamwans, and we'll stay fishing here for quite a while. And I'll be taking a break on the main account for a little while, just in case you're wondering. We ended up with a couple hundred karamwans, which is going to be perfect for the next grind. I cooked a bunch of them up, and we're going to head off and now get the Dragon Defender. Starting at the Warriors Guild, to get the tokens, we'll be using an Addy set. And just in case you're curious about the drop rates, the Defenders are a 1 in 50 from the Cyclopses, and the Dragon Defender is 1 in 100 from the Cyclopses in the basement. Wish me luck. And there's our first Defender, the Bronze Defender, in a collection log slot. Let's keep it going. And coming up, there's the Iron Defender, the next one off the list. Now mind you, that last Defender was at 170 kill count here. Notice, the next one, it does not come for around another 200 kills. My luck does eventually level out though, so don't worry. Now coming up on 411 kills.
Woo! Steel Defender!
Only a few kills later, we get the Black Defender. And yeah, I was AFK. My bad. But it sure does feel good after such a long dry streak for the last one.
Black Defender!
And only about 30 kills later,
Oh, damn! Mithril Defender!
the luck keeps coming. 20 more kills later,
There we go, Addy Defender.
in the next clip I accidentally had my face cam on, so I had to cut it out, but here we go.
Oh, the Rune Defender right away! I called it, man. That's so awesome.
Next off, we head down to the basement to hunt for that fabled Dragon Defender. And just in case you're wondering, the drop rate was a 1 in 100 for that. Hopefully we get lucky. After a while in the basement, my buddy actually hit me up to go do God Wars, so I decided to take a break, go back onto the main, and head to Kriara. Our tactic for Armadillo is pretty simple. We just grab our best range setup, camp the corner, put on our prayer, and just keep attacking. And if you're wondering about the drop rates of the rare items here, the Armadillo helmet, chestplate, and chain skirt are all a 1 in 381. And the hilt's a 1 in 508, and it's a 1 in 762 for each Godsword shard. The minions also drop each piece of the armor set at a rate of 1 in 16,000, as well as the Godsword shards. With that being said, let's just get into a montage of kills. Here we go. And you know, sometimes accidents happen, as you can see with this next clip. Oh well.
Range, range!
Yeah, my buddy accidentally teleported out. I just soloed for the rest of the trip until I ran out of inventory and my buddy could come back. He eventually showed back up, and we regrouped and started killing Kree again. And like I said, mistakes can happen, and this time it was me. Sadly. Oh fuck. I'm dead! No. I can come right back. I'll be right back. So I spawned back in Edgeville, I grabbed some food and potions, and made the long, arduous trek back to the God Wars dungeon. Until I had to go straight back again. I made it all the way back, and I got to where I needed to use some items to cross over the icy ridge. So, of course, I headed back straight to the bank, grabbed the items. I know it took forever, but I eventually made my way back to the room. At this point, I really kind of felt bad for my friend because he had just teleported out, had to run all the way back, then I died, I had to come all the way back. I was really hoping we struck some luck because I was pumping up Armadillo to him quite a bit. So we have to see if there's anything to show for. Not to mention, we really need some money on this account. There's plenty of gear I still need. And the RuneScape Lords were shining down upon us because as luck would have it, chain skirt, nice. I knew we'd get an item. Dope. Hell yes, we got an Armadillo chain skirt. Such an amazing pool. I don't even know how much it's worth right now, but once we get out of here, we'll go to the bank, do our split, and take our sweet GP. We still have quite a few kills for this trip, so we're just gonna go ahead and bang these out. Hey, you never know, maybe we'll get lucky again, pull something else. Stay tuned. And that should about round out this trip. Unfortunately, no more rares. Fortunately, we did get something, so let's head out of here and go split this loot. Here we are at the Grand Exchange, and we'll see a total loot value of 16 mil. So nice. Love to see it. Naturally, my next step is to head back and hunt for that Dragon Defender. Wish me luck. All of it paid off, because after a total of 667 Cyclopses,
Dragon Defender, yes, I'm done.
We had finally completed our first episode's main goal. The Dragon Defender has been achieved. But something's not right. I went and did a herb run, thought about some things, and it just doesn't feel right. There's one more thing I really want to do to end this episode off. And of course, I know I can spin the wheel, but I had a better idea. I had something particular in mind. So as I picked this last bit of seaweed, a plan was slowly forming. I picked some mushrooms to gather energy potions, and I thought I wanted to go out with a bang, but I didn't know if I had a strong enough weapon. I went and looked through my gear, and I came up with the perfect monster. It needed to be something fun, something I haven't done much of. Zarachnis. I equipped myself with a handy spare axe, and I delved deep into the spider's deadly lair. The fight commenced. and we managed to pull an egg sack. That's crazy. On to the outro, I suppose. Well, we managed to accomplish quite a few things this episode. We got those flippers, we got tons of seaweed and buckets of sand, we got an Armadale chain skirt split on the main, we even managed to pull a unique at Zarachnis with the egg sack. And on top of all of that, we got the Dragon Defender, our episode goal. And with that, the episode comes to an end. Please stay tuned for the next episode. There's plenty more goals. We've got Barrows, MTA, and plenty of bossing and crazy things ahead. Thanks for watching. I'll try to upload every 2 weeks to a month. See you around.